Hi everyone, welcome to day 14. Oh my god, it's been 2 weeks. Yay! So today has been a very, fun day actually, because I've been doing nothing but watching movies. Yeah, that's literally all I've done all day today. So I figured, you know what? I will talk about the movies that I watched today, because they're actually some pretty interesting movies. One of the movies is in the living room, but it's called The Butcher Boy. It follows this prepubescent youth named Francie. Francie? That's his name? Yeah. Because I'm assuming it's a diminutive form of Francis. But it follows a kid named Francie. He has a very difficult life. I thought my life was hard. He has a very difficult life. And it's following sort of the philosophy and the psychology behind kids when they're coping with cruel and unusual circumstances. I don't want to say what happens to him, but I will say that it is very interesting, and the ending is very scary. Another movie that I've seen, and it's right on my bed, is this. It's called Anatomy. It is a German independent film. At least I believe it is German independent. It is in German, but there are subtitles. Very interesting film. It is a horror film, but it is a very good horror film, because it does not place... I mean, there is gore, but it places the emphasis on sort of more... It's more of an occult thing with the anti-Hippocratics, which I'm not sure if they have any historical backing for that idea, but nonetheless it was a very cool idea. A very trippy movie as well. The ending was good. It was a feel-good ending for the situation, so... Again, I actually would say you need to see that. And then the movie I literally just finished watching is this. It's The Yes Men. I watched this in my philosophy class. Well, I watched a clip of it while we were covering how class shapes your philosophy. And from what I saw, it was pretty good. And that was during the class. And then I just watched it right now, and it is hilarious. For those of you who don't know, and this is a documentary, by the way. Very funny documentary, but a documentary nonetheless. It follows an organization known as the Yes Men, who actually created a few mock websites like gat.org. I'll put a link to them in the sidebar, which I think is over there. Because if I'm using the reflection, I think it's over there. If not, it's over there. But whatever. But I'll put the link to their website and their mocking websites. It's very satirical, but it's very good. What they do is they actually go in, I guess, acting as the WTO, the World Trade Organization, to these specific conferences. And excuse me a minute. And so, with that, they create these insanely preposterous ideas that, for some reason, people seem to believe, which I've found incredibly hilarious, because they actually show you sort of the types of things that they were suggesting. And as I was sitting there, I was just like, people actually believe this? Like, how insane are people to where they would actually think something like the Business Leisure Suit? And if you watch the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. How people could believe that the Business Leisure Suit was an actual serious idea. Hold on a second. I have a couple more really good movies lying around, luckily. And then there's one right here behind the camera. Okay, let's get this started. I guess this is sort of just a film day for me, so, yeah. Paradise Now, I actually haven't seen this yet, but I've heard a few good things about it, so I will definitely keep you guys posted. The Big Lebowski, probably one of the greatest films of the decade. I believe it was made in 2000 something. But probably one of the greatest films of the decade. Hilarious. The Dude Abides. It's made by the Coen brothers, the same brothers who did A Serious Man, and I believe they also did 28 Days Later, I'm not sure. But they've done a huge array of films, and all of their films are really good. Running with Scissors. I know this one isn't open, but I have seen this movie multiple times. I just figured I'd buy it. It's based on a real novel, and it follows the life of this kid who has a really interesting situation. He's gay, and he goes through his dementia-faced mother and lives in this psychiatric sort of household with his psychiatrist, or her psychiatrist, and really interesting as he explores his sexuality and stuff like that. Candy. This movie made me cry. It's one of Heath Ledger's greatest performances. This was the film he did, I think this was the film he did right before The Dark Knight. Really good film. It's sort of just him falling, well, he sort of corrupts this goody two-shoe girl into becoming a heroin addict, and then it sort of follows their struggle as heroin addicts and then dealing with addiction. Really good. Funny Games. This movie scared the crap out of me when I saw it. Just the whole premise of these two brothers going out having fun killing people is kind of scary, just a little bit. Really great performances by Michael Pitts. Naomi Watts did a good job as well. And then probably one of my more favorite movies, Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko is a psychological thriller for those of you who don't know, and when you meet Frank the Bunny, you will be scared. It's basically following the life of this kid who is saved, and it's sort of following this idea of predestination and all that, and it's a pretty good movie. So those are, since I asked you guys for movie recommendations, I figured, hey, you know what? Why don't I go ahead and just talk to you guys about movies? So that's what I decided to do. So those are some movie recommendations for you guys. And question of the day: who do you think has given the best performance in the past decade as an actor? Personally, if I had to narrow it down to... it would probably be Heath Ledger, because every role he ever does, he does just an amazing job at it. Or Anthony Hopkins, because, I mean, he's just an amazing actor, and yeah. I mean, I'm sure if I were to really think about it, my answers would change, but since I'm thinking about it on the spot, Anthony Hopkins, Heath Ledger, that's literally all I can think of. Christian Bale, no. He essentially is the same character. Same with Nicolas Cage and a few other people, but yeah, that's besides the point. Maybe Johnny Depp would be on that list too. But yeah, that's besides the point. So, actor who has given the best performance in the last decade. And yeah, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day.